from your father, Damien, for he is very wise, and you are the future.
Don't look so stunned, Father. I thought you'd be taller.
Damien is the son of Batman. Much to Batman's surprise, because he didn't find out too much later.
Bruce Wayne was actually drugged by Talia al Ghul to conceive this child. In this story, it's revealed that he has a son.
We had talked about what we wanted to do for the next Batman. The New 52 had come out, and so we were taking our cue from the New 52. So we jumped in to do this Grant Morrison story.
We also look at what Pete Tomasi is doing with Damien in his book, in the Batman and Robin title. I think Pete has done some great stuff with Damien.
The comic books, he's pretty unlikable in the beginning. I mean, you really feel that he's a thorn in Batman's side and that there's no saving this kid.
The child has been raised by Talia al Ghul and the grandfather, Ra's al Ghul, to be the ultimate assassin, which is what their business is.
But he does, over many issues, become somebody you really like.
Grant's contribution to the character is amazing because it's exactly what nobody else would have done.
Damian Wayne is a totally fresh character who has a totally fresh perspective. He's not automatically going to be a hero. He's got an edge to him, he's dangerous, and he's a 10-year-old boy.
So we used all of that kind of material to lay the groundwork for Damien's first filmed appearance.
When the opportunity came to adapt Son of Batman, I was really excited to be able to bring that to the screen because it's a story we've never really seen before. It's not all about crime fighting. At its core, the story is about a father and son.
Damien is a really interesting character in this world because he's a kid, but he was never treated as a child by his grandfather, who trained him. He was treated as an adult.
Here is your inheritance, the League of Assassins.
And so he has a very adult mentality when he is brought into Bruce Wayne's world.
You didn't know about me.
No,
So Mother has made me your responsibility.
something like that.
Damien has a reason to feel vengeful in the story, right from the beginning of the story. It's Batman's job to try to keep him from going over the line.
You know what you were tonight? You weren't a warrior, you weren't a soldier, you were a child.
Damien's stuck in a world between the Al Ghuls and the Waynes. One is a heroic world where a person is not trying to control people, and the other world is Ra's al Ghul trying to control the world.
Damien was raised to view life like Ra's al Ghul does, where your enemies should be destroyed and anything that you have to do for your goal is allowed. So killing's allowed, destroying cities, doing anything you have to do to take over is allowed.
That's the main tension, and a father who does not want his son to become a killer.
That makes you like them.
It makes me better than them.
Bruce Wayne has had many young children in his life, and he's had emotional attachments to them.
He's got to decide, does he want to take on the role of a real father? He's always been a surrogate father.
From now on, stay close. That's an order.
I thought that was interesting. We're seeing Batman and Bruce Wayne act as a father in this, which is pretty surreal.
For us, part of the fun is also the conflict between Nightwing and Damien. It's because one who is an actual son and one who's being treated more like a son, and the conflicts that they have between them. It's a lot of fun to explore that stuff. And, you know, we haven't said word one about a bad guy.
Hello, my love.
With this iteration of Talia, it's kind of cool because we get to see her full range.
It made you romantic.
It made me do what you wanted.
Was it all bad, beloved?
In our version of Talia, she's sort of James Bondian. She's sort of an attractive assassin who travels the world.
She is physical in every aspect of that word.
To me, that's how she started in the comics with Denny O'Neil. She was more an attraction than an assassin to me.
For good or for bad, he's got this amazing attraction to Talia.
She's even more badass because she's a mom in this. It's kind of like having your mom also be an assassin and be able to kick ass. So it's a great combination of things to make Talia a more interesting character.
Deathstroke is in this film, but he's not shown in any way you've seen Deathstroke before.
The cool thing about Deathstroke that also works in favor of this movie is that he is jealous of Damien because Damien is a blood relative of Ra's al Ghul, who Deathstroke views as a father figure.
How could you have pushed me out? I was your right hand.
So when Damien is groomed to take over the League of Assassins, he really has a vendetta against Damien.
I'll give you 48 hours before I end her suffering. Be worthy of your heritage, boy. Make your mother proud.
It is a smaller scale story, actually.
It's a strain of honor and a sense of whether people are going to get betrayed, a sense of loyalties being misaligned, and that goes throughout the story.
Every single character I've mentioned, the word conflict is like just built into where they're standing, and a punch hasn't been thrown.
Oh, I like that energy on that last one. Give me 3 more like that. We were lucky that we were able to bring Jason O'Mara back to play Batman.
It has nothing to do with easy. It's about doing what's right because it's right.
It's a dark Batman, but what's wonderful about this piece is that we get to see him be a slightly more emotional Batman.
How did you get in here?
A bird's nest has better security.
I found a wonderful young actor named Stuart Allen to play Damien for us.
Have you memorized the entire script?
Not the entire story. I'm imagining that everything around me is truly happening. I imagine that I literally am Damien.
Such style, Stuart. He comes in with a hat, and he's got like 3 different wardrobe changes for a voiceover gig. How great, how method. Use that energy and tie it together the way you did in that one take. Run, Damien, go!
Assassins plan to take over Raish's organization.
For Talia al Ghul, we looked for someone exotic and elegant.
Oh, you're right. If I remember correctly, I put a little something in your beverage.
Marina Baccarin came to mind truly right away.
With Talia, you can play with the levels of good versus bad. How far would she go in certain situations? And I think the answer is pretty far.
Then you remember our shared moonlight?
Son of Batman has it all. It has ninjas, it has assassins, it has father versus son versus grandfather conflict.
I want to help, like he used to.
Well, I hope people liked seeing Nightwing and Damien fight, because that's going to happen.
It's got man-bats, it's got submarines, it's got explosions, lots of explosions.
As far as an animated feature goes, it's really visual. It gets you really moving.
This becomes a classic DCU story. It will be because we did Damien right.
I'll make you talk.
Damien is the wild card. Will Batman ultimately be able to control this assassin who is his son?
Where is Deathstroke?
We'll just have to watch it and find out.